Okay, so step 0 is we need to find 3 different formats within these outliers, okay? So here's a helpful guide for how to think about formats. And this is the one thing that I'm gonna give you a little bit more depth on right here, because I think formats are really the most important part when you're a beginner to make sense of the world of content. So again, think of formats like the type of video. Could be a breakdown, could be a case study. Now, what I want you to do is I'm giving you access to this Figma visual database on formats that I put together. This will give you a view into all the different formats there are. So there's really 20 different types of formats. You've got educational formats, and then you've got storytelling formats. Now, if you zoom in, these are the different types of formats. You've got breakdowns or explainers. They kind of fall in the same bucket. And the starting point for breakdowns and explainers are these videos start with some topic, concept, event, or something that you want to explain, right? So if you click on these are all videos. So you can play this.
A backpack shouldn't survive this, but watch what...
Strong signature intro ideas for your signature.
So you can watch this if you want examples, right? So there's breakdowns. There's case studies, and case studies start with a simple example you want to break down. So usually it's like this person achieved this outcome in this way, right? It's breaking down a case study of some outcome. There's problem solution, which is like, if you have this problem, here's a solution. So usually these start with a problem. There's common trap or mistake, which usually it's like, if you keep running into the same mistake or if you keep falling prey to the same trap, here's what you want to do to avoid it. So this is usually starts from a common trap or mistake you want to avoid. There's tutorial, which is pretty straightforward, just breaking down something in steps. There's listicle, also pretty straightforward, an ordered list of things. So like, hey, if you want to do this, here's 5 ways to do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we're going to go up over here. Number 7 is scenarios. So these usually start with hypotheticals. So it's like, if I was the CEO of this design firm, here's what I would do tomorrow. It's kind of like a hypothetical scenario. Then you've got A versus B versus C comparisons. So you're like, here's A versus B. Here's good content versus bad content. If you want to make reels versus stories versus carousels, like that'd be A versus B versus C. Then you've got Q&A, which is like you can ask a hypothetical question to yourself and then answer it, or it could be like you walk up to somebody and ask them a question and they answer, like this
Andrew,
one.
Can you afford a $500,000 home on an $80K salary?
So this one's like pretty easy to replicate. So the next one would be ranking, rating, and tier list. These are all kind of like the same thing. Like if you want to rank 5 different toothpastes, you would do it like this. A lot of examples for you here. 11 is levels. So it's like 3 levels of making pasta, 3 levels of movie theater popcorn, right? So you can rank things beginning. It's kind of another ranking type. And then you got reaction. This is like the simplest to make, but I think the lowest value, which is you literally just watch another clip and then react to it at the end. So these are kind of like the core educational formats. And then you've got some storytelling formats as well. Skit and humor, pretty classic, pretty self-explanatory. Hero's journey is where you start with a core problem that you personally faced and then talk about the transformation arc. Personal learning or epiphany is like you learn something and you want to share how you came to that learning and why it's important. Day in the life is like a day in the life vlog. Personal update is where you're like giving a personal update about your life. About me is kind of a background story video about you. Episodic series or social show is usually made in an episode-based story format, so I wouldn't recommend starting with this. Or challenge, which these are kind of hard to make, but it's like you challenge yourself to do something and then you kind of vlogged it. All of these storytelling ones, the common thread is typically their first-person perspective. So you're saying from your experience. Educational is not necessarily from your experience. You can integrate it, but it's about a specific thing you're trying to educate on. So these are the 20 different formats. And when you start looking at different videos, it'll be really apparent which formats these fall into. And so the thought is, for your niche, if there's a pattern of certain formats that tend to perform the best, well, then maybe you should start by making those formats. That's why I wanted to go through this. I didn't want it to overwhelm people, but like that Figma is a really helpful resource of the different formats. And then I've written out the formats here for you, all 20 of them broken down. So what we're gonna do is, for our first 3 videos, I want you to get experience making 3 different formats. And a lot of that is just how you structure your points and how you think about using the container of that format to storytell your ideas. So you're going to use that guide as we go through Sandcastles in a minute to identify the different formats that you see. And then we're going to keep going through the outliers until we find 3 formats to make. So at this point, you should have those 3 outlier videos linked on your doc. Let's go one at a time from here. So right now, let's go through this a demo version of this process, and I'll show you how to pick these formats, and then we're gonna grab them on a doc. So I've got a simple doc here that I've made. So this is a demo, first 3 reps demo, and I'm gonna show you how to actually do this, right? So we're gonna go through, and I'm just gonna come over, and I'm gonna say 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to put the links to the outliers here as I find them, right? So we've got this. Now let's go back to Sandcastles. Okay, so we're in Sandcastles, and I'm literally just going to go from the very beginning. Top left is the best performing one. This is a 120x outlier, and we go down from here. So I'm just going to grab it. I'm going to watch it, and we're going to see what this is about. I want to see what format it is, and I want to see if it's achievable for me to make it. So let's open it up and let's watch it.
This video hit over 300 million views because the creator used two simple techniques that make him go viral almost every time. Number one, pattern interruption. Instead of starting like every other art video, he instantly breaks the pattern, shows his craft falling. And that tiny shock makes people freeze on the...
This is a really cool video, and this is a case study, and I know this because I've done this a lot, so I can instantly recognize it, where he's basically like, this creator got this result, and he did it using two ways, so he's going to break down that case study of how the creator did it. So if I wanted to do this one, it would be a format case study, which is cool. Now, if I'm assessing, can I make this? The cool part is the creator's not actually showing their face. It's just a voiceover, but it requires going out and finding this footage and then editing a lot of it together.
The scroll. Number two, curiosity loop. The moment something feels incomplete, your brain needs closure. That's why viewers stick till the end to see what...
You also have to have found, in this case, you have to have found this base video, like for this example. So I'll grab it, but for you, you might be like, the editing I'm a little worried about, and pretty much this is all editing, like the voiceover is beneath. This could be one that you make. It would be a faceless case study. So I'm going to come over here and we're just going to put case study, and I'm just going to mark that it's faceless. That's more of a visual layout, but you don't need to know that now, but I'm just going to mark it just for my awareness. Okay, that was one. Let's go back to this. Let's go to the next one.
Ayo. Gantian Bapak. Gantian, nyoba gantian. Ayo. Bareng.
This is the original viral video. It hit 10 plus million views. It's made just for fun. A brand saw this viral
This is basically like a breakdown, kind of close to a case study, but it's slightly different. This is also faceless, so it's too close. It's a different format, but it's too close to the other one, so I want to try different skills. So I'm going to skip this one. I'm going to go to the next one. This one looks a little bit different. This is Jaden Lee, I think.
30 days to take my views from this to this, my followers from this to this, and turn my entire social media presence into a cash cow, aka a money-making machine. Here's exactly how I do it as a business owner. I hope you take notes on this. First thing you're gonna do, my friend, is grab your laptop.
So this is a hypothetical, right? So he said, if I have 30 days to do X to Y, here's what I'm gonna do. This is a scenario. This is very doable in terms of visual execution. This is him, phone on the tripod.
And open up what I like to call Google Docs. Split up your Google Doc into two different sections, keywords and traits. In the keyword section.
All right, I'm gonna grab this one. So this is a hypothetical, which I like, very easy to execute. So let's go scenario. So we've got this one. Okay, let's go back. This is him. It's probably going to be a similar one, so let's skip it. This looks like a faceless one. Okay, let's go to this one. Like an RIP, someone passed away, unfortunately, so this is not something we're going to replicate. Let's go to this one.
And I'm about to build you $1 million brand in a very short amount of time, so therefore I can go to sleep. See, even he wants to see it happen. Let's go. So most content gurus that you see on Instagram, they're automatically going to tell you there's all of these different types and styles and formats of content, which is true. But all you really need is two, and I'm just going to simplify it for you. You need you content and me content. Watch me break this down. Me content is the selfish content. This is where I showcase my personality.
So this is too similar to the type that we already grabbed. Let's go to this one.
You have to be okay with your views going down, but that's just per video, and I'm going to explain this in a second. It's called view distribution. Think about supply and demand.
All right, so this one I believe is a breakdown. Let's go to this. It might be a problem solution, but either way, it's different from what we have. So I'm going to grab this one as well. This is called a car yap. He's just in the car yapping. Very easy to make. You could make this one no problem. So here's three. So we've got these three. Now, these are all validated outliers given the topic they're talking about, the way they did it, everything, the whole stack together. This made a validated outlier. So if we're going to change the topic, that's okay. But because these are in our niche, we want to try to change it as little as we can. We want to keep some of the inspiration the same because that's why it went viral, right? So this is the process to go through your outliers and find 3 different formats. Now, you don't have to pick 3 in the top 6. You can go ahead and scroll significantly down. The point is, I want you to make 3 different formats, ideally 3 different visual executions as well, so that you can try to test your skills and try a few different things. Okay, so let's go back to this. At this point, you should have those 3 outlier videos linked on your Google Doc, and we're gonna go one at a time from here to actually make those videos, right? So let's pick it up in the next video, and I'll show you how to do that.